All right, I've been doing a series on starting a business for $20. And for free, you can get a Google email address. Part of that Google Gmail account, you get Google Documents, you get Google Sheets, you get a bunch of other things that are free with it. And they are powerful. They're a lot more powerful than you ever dreamed of. And you should spend some time watching videos on how to use them. For instance, Google Contacts, Google Calendar, Google Email. You need to learn how to use those three tools together. And today I'm going to show you how to set up a very powerful CRM. And it will cost you nothing to use it. And this is a great way to start. I give the explanation all the time that I used to own a treadmill, and I thought that I would use the treadmill if I spent more money on it. Makes sense, right? Spent $3,600 10 years ago. There is no telling what that treadmill would cost now. And I was pretty true to it for a while, but then it became a $3,800 clothes hanger. It got covered with clothes, and it sat there for years and years and years. And I think I finally sold it for $1,500 when it was all said and done. Probably was very lucky to have gotten that, but it was in pristine condition. That's what you are doing with your CRM shopping. You think that if you spend a lot of money on it, it may only be 50 or 60 bucks a month or 120, whatever. But you add that up, $100 times a year is $1,200. You multiply it on out. When I'm saying this is no cost, and this is where you cut your teeth on it. And if you need something bigger later on down the line, you'll know what you're doing then. So let's jump into this. When you download there's going to be links down below here that will download the script. You don't have to know how to write it. Trust me, I don't know how to write it. I had ChatGPT write it today. And then I've been testing it out for hours, and it works pretty darn good. And so I constructed a script that you can have for free. I constructed a database of 100 names with fake email addresses, fake phone numbers. Please don't call these. Some of them might actually work. I just don't know. Had ChatGPT write it all out. You can plug it in there. And so I'm going to basically show you how to set it up and play with it for a little. Play with it. Treat it seriously, because just looking at this here, let's say I made it to where if you put the data in and you used a little r right here, it will correct itself. Watch this. Bam. If you go to put in a phone number and you just put in there 251-554-8965, just making a number up, and I hit enter, watch it fix it. Bam. And then Google's got some things down here that you'll see pop up about converting it to people chips. And that's a pretty cool deal. You'll be able to email using that. I'm going to do it because I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it's people chips, really just learning that part of it myself. But now you'll see when you roll over it, it's got that person's email address. It doesn't have their name. And you can send an email directly from here, or you can add them to your contacts directly from here. And so, yeah, that's pretty, I don't know how much, just use the data, play with it, and then reinstall it and start putting in your own data. You can't really break it, and if you do, just set it back up again. The other thing I like about it is you can go in here and sort by only new leads, and bam, there's all the new leads. But now what it's calling new leads are people who are stuck in the new leads. So one from June is certainly not a new lead. You just never called them, If you've got the balls to finally call them now and get them on the phone, great. But otherwise, we're just going to mark that sucker as lost. And then when you refresh it, it should at some point, it'll go away when you get rid of this. So to get rid of the filters, I'm just learning my way around it too. Remove the filter. And now if we go back in there and do, again, show only new leads, that one's probably going to be gone. Another thing that you can do is edit the notes. And let's say you move this. Here's another thing. So watch this last contacted date. So let's say we tried to call them today. Watch that date change. Bam. That's pretty cool. And this date is automatically added when it's a new person added to your account. So there you have it. Tear it apart. Email me. Write notes in the bottom here if you would. Feedback on it. I just think it's a great way to get started in the world of CRMs, because there's a lot of good CRMs out there. And some of the people in your industry will try to sell you an industry-specific CRM, and then it's got invoicing built into it, and it's got a bunch of other bells and whistles. In fact, they keep adding bells and whistles onto it, like AI answering services. So they do a lot of things. You know this is true in life. When they do a lot of things, they may do some of them well, but they don't do any of them really well. And so I like sticking with individual tools. They're usually lower cost. I always own the data, and that's another thing that you'll find when you go with these larger ERPs that, like they've got one in the flooring industry with Broadloom, or they've got one in construction. A lot of people use House Call Pro, Service Titan, things like that. You lose control of your data. They keep adding bells and whistles to keep charging you more and more. Or to get features, you have to pay more. See what I'm saying? They own you. Don't let them own you. See you later.